All right. So before we start with Kuma's leave it practice, or we still might actually later this evening, I wanted to give her another chance and just do a solo evaluation with her over here at the Lowe's and see how she acts and behaves. Good girl. So far with the kids she's been in the neighborhood, she seems apprehensive initially, but then she kind of warms up. We haven't had any negative interactions such as like the barking and everything. So curious to see if it's probably just because she gets overly unsure or if it's maybe some excitement too. So right now just watching her body language, right? She sees some people, she ducks away. Tail's kind of between the legs, she's kind of down. Before actually we go in, let's take her outside, see if she needs to use the bathroom. Especially when pups are distressed like this or skittish. Sometimes it increases their bowel movements as well as her needing to use the bathroom to pee beforehand. And just so that way we avoid any unnecessary messes inside the store, we'll go over here where there's some grass and we'll give her a little bit of a break. Right now it just seems like she's very apprehensive of a lot of things. So right there, the truck starting up kind of startled her a little bit. She moved away. So chances are pretty high that it's her barking because she's unsure or afraid of something. But it'd be good to see instead of just speculate. I want to try to get her comfortable in as many situations as possible. And then also, we'll practice her redirecting and refocusing onto us. Sometimes that is what really helps pups that have like anxieties to calm down, right? If they're not just focusing on what's freaking them out the whole time, they're able to refocus back onto us. We give them a command or something easy to do, or gives us the opportunity to kind of comfort them or show them that everything is okay in the situation that they're unsure of. Good girl, good potty. Yeah. She just had to pee there. Good girl. We'll see if she needs to go number 2 or not. Good girl, good potty. Good. She's also taking treats right now, and sometimes I'll use that kind of like a litmus test to see how anxious the pups are, right? So if under calm, normal circumstances, they're able to take treats, and then when they're under stress, they're not able to. It's a good indicator that they got too much going on in their surroundings or they're too unsure to accept anything. Sorry about the sniffles. Hopefully allergy season will finish off here shortly. Alright. So just gonna go nice and slow, give her an opportunity, especially while you're out, for her to actually get acclimated to her new surroundings. Sometimes we try to rush things when we're out, just because naturally we're usually out because we want to try to do things, get things done, and then get back home. Whereas for her, especially if she's uncomfortable in a new surrounding, we need to kind of take the time to analyze, what is it that she may be unsure of, and then give her opportunities to get used to either the different smells, the different sounds, the different scenery. So right now, just watching for traffic too. can see her body language is not really promoting the most confident behaviors. Her ears and her tail is down, her head's down. Just moving very cautiously through space. She's kind of also all over the place, right? I'm going to give her a little bit of guidance, but I'm not going to really do too much right now because the main thing is to just kind of try to observe to see what we need to work on, see what will help and what might not help. Hi, how you doing? Good. Oh, it's okay. Come here. Oh, you're okay. Good girl. So we got the music in the store. I'll try to play over it and talk over it so that way we can still hear everything. But sometimes they have it up really loud, and so I'll have to mute. If that's the case, what I'll end up doing is just doing a voiceover over the audio later. So I'll be still speaking for my benefit, so that way I'll have my kind of notes to voice over later. But if things don't seem perfectly connected in the video with the audio, then that might just be why. Good girl. Good thing is she's not super panicking right now, right? We did have the most sudden movement when the truck started up. Startled her around it really quickly. Well, she's pretty stable. Cautious, but stable. I'm gonna try to keep her from going behind me. And we'll practice some good leash manners here, even when she's under duress, by trying to keep her on a good heel. Good girl. All right. Yeah. So yeah. Good. So she's a little bit curious there of all the people that are around. You go ahead and try to walk through here. The good part about department stores like this is just the fact that they do, allow pets in, and sometimes the workers will have treats or they want to say hi. Gives them a little bit of a break from their duties, but we also want to be careful not to, interrupt or intrude on anybody shopping or anybody working. Good girl. Just go right behind. Sorry, excuse me. Good girl. Very skittish. She does seem interested though, which is good. She's definitely very, very unsure of everything. Not sure how often she's been out in environments like this. So what we're gonna do is kind of use this first video here and track and gauge progress after a couple more trips to see if there's any improvement or if there's any decline, right? So when we're out trying to get them used to new environments, we have to be careful not to overwhelm them or overstress them all at once, right? Give them plenty of breaks as necessary too. So that way they can actually get acclimated as opposed to getting more traumatized or more overwhelmed. Good girl. Very good. There you go. All right. We'll go on over this way. Good girl. Oh. Good girl. Good girl. Hi. Would you like a treat? Kuma. Oh, good listen. Oh, good girl. Good sit. So she's still doing really well, being able to kind of check in and listen, execute commands, and walk relatively nicely. Just seems like for the most part she's just uncomfortable or unsure. And with cases like that, especially if we're able to kind of get her out more often, she'll get a chance to kind of get used to the different sights and smells, and especially sounds of certain places. She seems to be a little bit sound sensitive. And then also while we're out, if she gets to meet some nice people as well and get some treats and such, that could also help to build like a good positive connection or association with the new environments. Hey girl, oh hi. Hey girl. So we're gonna go ahead and move out of the way to the side here. Good girl. So we want her to kind of be included in the environment, but not kind of get in anybody's way or anything. Good girl. It's usually a good time to go when we're starting off here is when it's a little bit slower. So weekday evening, right? As opposed to like a weekend morning. It's good to start her off with less going on. She's already unsure of things. Whereas if there was a bigger crowd or lots more people moving heavy equipment or machinery, loading and unloading things for people, it could be even worse for her and harder for her to kind of get used to things. Good girl. I'm gonna try to talk a little bit constantly here to drown out the really loud music on the speakers. Good girl. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and give her a little bit of a break outside again. And we'll try the lawn and garden area, see if there's anybody there. And sometimes too, hi, how you doing? So that's another thing too, right? Her seeing the exit and trying to kind of rush outside. Either to get some fresh air or to kind of get away from everything that was overwhelming her inside. Well, just because we all have really too much issue with door control right now with her. Right? She's kind of picking up the pace a little bit. And the goal with her, just like with her brother, is to kind of get her to engage her nose. So that way she starts smelling and exploring an area, and that usually helps a pup with working through their own apprehension of things, right? There we go. Got some plants, got some people nearby too. So you can check out a little bit of both. Here we've got a lot more open space too, whereas sometimes in indoor environments they can feel, closed off or claustrophobic. And that can sometimes just amplify their feelings of insecurity or their anxieties. It's just a lot easier when you have more space to move around. And she can also get away from things too. Or hopefully move towards them. Just using some light leash pressure to get her back in this way. Got a few people in line here. Some items. Good. She did good there. Seems more curious than anything else. Wasn't startled by the sound or somebody moving towards her. Good girl. Just kind of following her lead right now. Sometimes it'll help them when we take charge, right? Tell them what to do, where to go, what to focus on, because that helps take their mind off of things. That'll be a good way to step in whenever necessary, but for now, we really want to try to keep the leash and the guidance as loose as possible, just so I can really observe what her normal behavior is going to be like, what she's inclined to do, whether she's going to move towards people or away from people, towards things or away from things.
Hi, baby.
Hi, how you doing? Oh, nice. Say hi. Good girl. So she's curious, she's moving away, move towards, kind of smelling. Right? So it's good that she's curious. At the same time, it's also good to note that she's kind of apprehensive, right? So when she's apprehensive, if we push into the space of an apprehensive pup, whether intentionally or unintentionally, that can sometimes elicit an overreaction, like the barking, making that uncertainty like so much worse. But if we give her the opportunity to move in when she's comfortable, and we either stay still or move a little bit away, then that can help her to not overreact, to bark. Sometimes too, like just the suddenness of the sound. So if she was in a room and then suddenly a door opened or suddenly somebody stepped in, that initial startle could be enough to kind of trigger an overreaction, even if she does know the person, right? It's interesting most to me is just the fact that she doesn't do it with all of her family, just the son, right? So mom and dad can probably pop in and out of a room and she doesn't overreact, but as soon as he does, she'll do it even after spending time with him. I think it's just maybe the startling effect or the fact that he might just have a bigger frame or more be more imposing, intentionally, unintentionally when coming in. Good girl. Because she seems to be pretty open to people and pretty curious, but it's only after like an initial apprehension. Just trying to get her near a few other people too, just to kind of get that as much on film to study as possible. Good girl. She really likes the chicken treats, so that seems to be helping. Mm. And she's still pretty calm too, despite being unsure of things. So we'll move this way. Sees the person and the ladder. Doesn't seem interested in checking it out, so we'll just keep moving along. Big thing is we want to get her out and about so we can give her exposure and then comfort her and get her closer to things that she might be unsure of. But if she's already afraid or moving away, I want to be careful not to just kind of force her into it too, because then that could just lead her to naturally pull away even more, being startled or scared. So a lot of this will just be taking it at her own pace, but with just as much exposure as possible to help accelerate the process, right? We're just looking for really good exposure for her. Like right now, like I said, it's pretty slow. Um, there's not very many big crowds. Most people are going to be pretty well spaced out during interactions, which is good because we don't want her to be overwhelmed and then get into like another overwhelming situation right away. It can make it really hard for her to kind of settle down and calm down. So, but if we have like one person and she meets and then she has another person that she meets with some space in between, then that can kind of give her an opportunity to actually unwind a little bit and calm down in between interactions. Good girl. Right? Good girl. Usually the front of the stores where the cash registers are, it's going to be a lot busier than the back of the stores. All right. So just walking through here where there's a lot more people. Also, unfortunately, the music's a lot louder. Uh, Seeing how she does. Tail is still down low. She's not really moving towards anybody per se, not moving away. We're just kind of drifting along, walking through. Got a couple gentlemen nearby here. Good girl. Trying to keep her on just one side or the other. Keep her from going around in a circle. Good girl. All right. Do, do, do.
But all right, I'm gonna grab these lights.
All right. Good girl. Let me see. Does it?
I'm gonna grab these lights and I'm gonna run out.
Good girl. There you go. So she's a little interested there. Good. So she sees that person as well. Good girl. Good girl. Good job. So it looks like with her, we're gonna definitely just need to do more exposure in different public areas and different crowds too. Usually the front of like Costco or Walmart, really high traffic areas. It's gonna be good to see what she does when we kind of push that exposure envelope. Whether she shuts down more or if she's able to kind of smell and explore. That was good, right? Open up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a little bit of a break right now. Maybe another potty walk and then another round through. And we're gonna work on her with some other things. Good girl. Especially with socializing and with her being timid and unsure, we don't wanna kind of press that issue continuously. So what we'll probably do is work on her other behaviors, like her sit stay and her recall and her leave it. And every other day we'll do like a social session. So that way it's still consistent enough that she can get used to it. Like if you go too long between outings, she can end up resetting, but not so often that she continues to just get overwhelmed and she doesn't get to relax to kind of get used to things. Luckily, we can kind of plan it out so that way we get to expose her to locations when it's going to be more quieter. And then by the time the weekend comes around, it's going to naturally be a lot busier. But we'll have some more practice underneath our belts too. Good girl. Say hi. So for Cosmo's walking sessions, kind of paired him up with Bagel, just because Bagel absolutely loves using his nose and exploring, right? In hopes that it'll help to Cosmo will kind of feed off of that. There you go, good boy, there you go, right? There you go. The goal with Cosmo is to just get him comfortable being outside and exploring. That way we can get him actually more willing to go outside and wanting to go outside when he needs to go potty, instead of having to kind of physically carry him. Good boy. You can see the leash is still bothering him a little bit, but not too much. We'll still use the pressure when necessary, but the main reason still to use the pressure is in hopes of being able to release the pressure. Good. Right there, we didn't need anything at all. Another reason why I like having the freedom leash for Cosmo in this case is it just lets him explore and walk around a little bit more before there's any tension on the lead. The very typical puppy behavior of sticking whatever possible in his mouth, which is fine. Gives us an opportunity to practice leave it. Good boy. Oh, hi. Are you practicing leave it too? Huh? You practicing leave it too? Come on. So now he's stationary for a while. Gonna add some pressure. There we go. Good. Have him get up and move. Good boy. Let him follow his nose, explore, still come back to us if he wants for a treat. So that's the important thing too, is I'm using the pressure first, and then when he releases and then comes to me on his own, then he gets a reward. I don't show him that I have the reward and kind of call him over. Eventually we can do that as well, but I really want him to get used to and responding to the leash pressure and finding out that it's not a terrible thing. So he's kind of frozen stiff now, so we'll add a little bit of pressure in and then we'll release. Good job. Okay. And then when he wants to lay down and take these little breaks, that's perfectly fine too. We'll let him relax, get up on his own, or I'll just slowly keep walking away. And then the pressure will build again, and then he just has to release it. And take things as slow as possible for him, but just working it as often as possible. So that way he gets as much practice in. Aww. So he's probably, because he's okay with kids, he's probably scared of the stuff that he's holding, right? There you go. There you go. It's okay. There we go. So now that he's dropped the stuff, he can relax and play a little bit more. So definitely just something to be aware of, right? So because we know that he's been okay with the kids before, and being able to quickly assess what's different about the kid this time, we're able to figure out what he was actually barking at and what he was afraid of, and it was just the toys that the child was carrying. So it's very important and good to know. I don't think it would affect anything with his sister, right? But it might also just be, what their son wears when coming into a room, like the father was saying, like the hoodies, and being a much more secretive or shadowy figure could make her not recognize him, at least initially, right? Because when you can see there, Cosmo, when he was scared of the kids, he was only scared of the kids because of the toys. That's what he was focused on. And then when the toys went away, he was able to kind of focus on just the kids again and not be afraid of them. And we got Bagel over here causing a disruption, speaking with the neighbor's dog from behind the fence. All right. So now, I'm gonna add in a little bit of pressure. Get him to turn around and come with us. Good boy. There you go. And then we release the pressure. He's getting a little distracted by all the traffic sounds too. He's very sensitive, very much so like his sister, just different. A little bit of pressure and then release. Good boy. So just giving him some more outdoor exposure, whether under slight pressure, continuous pressure, or no pressure, really, whenever possible. And like I said, sometimes having good peers around can really help with the development of a puppy, right? Because they really learn to feed off of each other. So if he's around his sister that's uncertain, hey, how's it going? Then that can also be something that he picks up as well. Right, so there's that dog over there on the fence, and he's just kind of fixated and scared, so just adding some pressure to help him get away. Good boy. Now he's laying down. Yeah, add a little bit more pressure. There you go, and then release. Sorry. I'm going to try to move him away so that way it's not encouraging the other dog to continuously bark at him. And we're moving actually faster because we're connected to Bagel over there who's just charging ahead. So now he sees the kids and the interactions over there. And sometimes that can also really help him kind of to encourage to move and explore while on the leash or out in a new environment. Because now he's not fixated on the leash or the environment. He's fixated on meeting people and playing and engaging. So we're going to help him out here a little bit. There you go. There's another dog too. There we go. I'm just going to slowly move our way over. He hears the screaming, so they're distracting him there. Okay. Give him a little break. So the main thing with Cosmo right now is just exposure. It's pretty hot out, but luckily we just got overcast with the breeze, but it's been like 90s. So kind of letting him out and then back in. get some AC, get some water, and then back out again, and then back in. Just really helps to accelerate the process because we've come already a very long way from the first day of just trying to take him out for a walk. What's also really encouraging is now on our way back to home, he'll pick up the pace and kind of come along on his own too. So that'll be good. It's another way that we can kind of work backwards and help him kind of with his movement and his confidence, right? Apply a little bit of pressure there. Apply a little bit more. Just want him to kind of continue on moving forward with us. Yeah. Good boy. Just very interested in what's going on with the family over there, and you can see a little bit his tail starts wagging. He's definitely very social and wants to interact. Hi, how you doing? You wanna say hi? Come on, big guy. Trying to get him over here. Mr. Bagel's over there. Yeah, they're both friendly. Come here, you. Trying to get him over here so he can interact too. Yeah, don't. Come here, bud. Bagel's having a good time over there. Hi, how you doing? Good. Yeah, he's very shy. Oh, there you go. But he wants to be friendly. You can see it, right? Oh, there you go. There you go. Good boy.
He's never seen a human dog before.
Say hi. It's okay, big guy. Come here. There you go. Go nice and slow. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Okay, leave him, Nyla. Leave him.
Oh. Do you guys have dogs?
No, he used to. Little.
Oh. Poor guy. It's okay, little guy. Come here. So we're gonna let him run away to kind of create some space, right? He's a little overwhelmed. But I'm gonna, come here, it's okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. Now I'm just gonna pick him up so that way he can't just run away if he's scared, right? Because I don't want to force him to engage, but what I'm trying to do is not allow him to just disengage, right? And kind of run away from his fears. And we got Bagel over there just having a good old time.
What number are you, Nyla? What number?
Yes, I'll unlock him again, so now he can just lay there on his own.
It's okay, Sean.
There you go. Good girl. Good boy. It's okay. There you go.
You both so soft. You so softer. You softer. You bend. You bend.
There you go.
You
So just by making it so he can't run away from a situation because he's scared, gives him the opportunity to actually see that there's nothing to be afraid of. Good boy. And now that the kids are also a little bit more calm and not chasing towards him, he is also less apprehensive too, less panicky.
You sniffy? You sniffy? You sniffy? You sniffy?
He's very
Sometimes you have to
sniffy.
give his space.
Yeah.
I know you
Good boy. So now I'm just here to kind of help comfort him, keep an eye on him, making sure he's not overwhelming him. But he can also move away too if necessary, which is important.
Oh, your paws are so cute. They're so cute.
Good boy.
It's a cutie. It's a cutie.
Bless you.
Ooh, you're so soft. Alright, you
Have fun. Oh.
You like that? Your tail is perfect, and you would be. I know you would be. I can put two at the same time. You're so cute.
There you go. So he's just conquering all sorts of fears while out and about in the real world. So a lot of it is just going to be a lot of socializing and a lot of kind of getting them used to different environments, different situations. I'm trying to build as many positive influences with them as possible.
You love her, right? You like her? You love. Yeah, he got used to us. Yeah, you can sniff me. My pants is always dirty. You can sniff me. That was my new pants. You can sniff me. You can be dirtier. You can do that. Now my pants is gonna be all dirty. Huh? I forgive you too. I forgive you. I forgive you.
Good boy. There you go. So now he's meeting all sorts of kids and people. And it's just,
Is he sometimes shy?
oh my goodness, Mr. Bagel over here.
You land on me! You want to lay on me?
Having a good old time. So that was a really good interaction there with Cosmo and the kids. You know, you can see initially being overwhelmed and scared and wanting to run away. And it's going to be a balance between, you know, kind of pushing that envelope of his fear and his discomfort of things, just so that way he can actually see the bright side of things, actually being able to walk and smell and explore the grass and the world around him, get to meet some really nice kids and other people. So definitely a lot of exposure game with him. The goal is to try to get him as comfortable being outside as much on his own as possible, so that way we can start to get him out here a lot easier when he needs to go potty. Good boy, very good. He still stops quite often, but he doesn't need as much force or as much consistent force as well to kind of get him moving again. And then when he does and starts to explore and use his nose and comes towards me, then I'll keep the leash pressure off and give him treats and things like that. So really kind of forcing him outside of his comfort zone is just unfortunate, because his comfort zone is such a small circle, and we just really want to try to expand that circle as much as possible for him. Getting into things underneath there, so we're going to kind of move him back out this way. Come on, big guy. Just slight, steady pressure. Doing it on the grass is definitely better than the sidewalk or asphalt too. Alright, just gentler on his paws. Good boy. Come. There you go. Good job. Right. So just making sure that we don't give up before he does, and then just really making him feel as rewarded as possible and releasing that pressure as soon as he does. Come here, Bagel, this way. There we go. So eventually we'll get back home. Just very curious and very timid for sure. Adding in some pressure and then releasing. Good boy. Come on, Cosmo. Come on. Good boy. Come on. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Just slow, constant pressure, right? Just make it so it's more uncomfortable for him to try to stay still in that same spot, and easier for him to kind of continue moving towards us. Very slow, very gentle, very constant, right? That's the thing. Might give him a little bit of a break here after he walks a little bit more, but we're almost to that that threshold when he sees that we're closing in on home, and then he just starts walking back home really quickly too. So we'll see if we can capture that moment as well, because that one's pretty important here. Give him a little bit of a break. Come on, Cosmo. There we go. And now we want to make sure he doesn't go around the tree the wrong way. Whew, that was close. All right. So now some slight pressure going back out this way. Good. And then release. Good boy. Very good. Good boy. And this is the neighbor that they don't like pups in their yard, so trying to get him around. Good boy. Come on. It's okay. He's intrigued because the neighbor just came out. Oh, look at the tail. Hi. You want to say hi? Okay. There you go. Good job. Sorry, we were trying not to cross the grass. Oh, there you go. Oh, he's so excited. Oh.
You're a baby. You have shark teeth.
Good boy. There you go. He likes you.
He's really nice.
Good boy.
Alright, let me go in there before.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Oh, you're an idol. You're the best.
I know. Come on, let's go. Come on, Bagel. Good job. And that's where kind of like gonna try to get a day when we have some nice weather and get them to like a public park, because I feel like, especially during the weekends when there's families and parties and other dogs and kids and stuff, lots of people around, that'll help him to kind of explore, going from like party to party. I think that would really help him kind of get comfortable, because then he's not, he's not concentrating on the environment. He's concentrating on meeting the people. Okay, a little bit of leash pressure here again, and now I'll release because I noticed that he's actually following his nose a little bit. Got distracted by the car horn. Okay, a little bit more pressure, and then release. Very good. It's interesting because with most puppies during training, we try really hard to get them to not use their nose and to pay attention to just us, whereas with Cosmo, it's definitely very much so the opposite, right? We really want him to get distracted by his nose, get into that like exploring the environment kind of mindset, and just back to kind of being more of a puppy. There we go. Very good. So right now he doesn't have any pressure. We're just keeping an eye out on traffic because we're kind of out in the middle of the road. Now we're going to give a little bit more pressure. There we go. And then release. Excuse me. Good boy. A little bit more pressure. We're going to release. Good job, big guy. Now we're kind of back to home base here. Good boy.